Kicking off the list at number 10, the four beasts of Daniel. We'll kick this list off with a 4 in 1, because I'm feeling nice, we're feeling generous, you know? The first was like a lion and had eagle wings. Then as I watched, its wings were plucked off, and I was lifted up from the ground and made to stand on 2 feet like a human being, and a human mind was given to it. Daniel 7:4. Yep, that sounds pretty intimidating. These entities are described as a lion with eagle wings, like I said, but there's also a bear, there's also a leopard, and this fourth beast that's a mystery still. This bear has 3 ribs in its mouth between its teeth, so that's a pleasant image that you want to put in your head right there. And the leopard also has wings, as well as 4 heads too. The mysterious fourth beast is full of horns, that's all we know. It's also got iron teeth and 10 horns, so you paint that picture, whatever you have in your head. You just gotta include the horns and the teeth and then you're good. The rest you can kind of just imagine. These beasts symbolize the great 4 kingdoms, of course, but the ribs and the teeth thing, that's gonna be in my head rent-free. Thanks, David. Number 9. The 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. Another 4 in 1. I've given you guys like 8 beasts so far. Hit that thumbs up. I'm doing my best, honestly. I'm trying to get it all in. I looked and there was a pale green horse. Its rider's name was Death, and Hades followed with him. They were given authority over a fourth of the earth to kill with sword, famine, and pestilence, and by the wild animals of the earth. That's Apocalypse 6:8. That's a fun one. So that's an image in itself right there. Imagine meeting any of these entities, just all the figures of death, like the literal figures of death. I'm good. Let's talk about them. The 4 horsemen, of course, are conquest, war, famine, and death. Conquest was the white horse, war the red horse, famine black, and death the green horse. The rider of the white horse is speculated to be the Lord himself, Jesus, but regardless, I don't want to meet death or his green horse, or any of this posse for that matter. Number 8, pit locusts. Okay, time to get really terrifying. This is Revelation 9:3-10. Then from the smoke came locusts on the earth, and then they were given power like the power of scorpions of the earth. They were allowed to torment them for 5 months, but not to kill them. And their torment was like the torment of a scorpion when it stings someone. In appearance, the locusts were like horses prepared for battle. On their heads were what looked like crowns of gold. Their faces were like human faces. Among the 10 plagues in the Bible, this one sounds like it's definitely the worst. 5 months of torment caused by pit locusts? I'm good. This could happen, honestly. I'm not trying to alarm anybody, but back in 2016, locusts covered over 270,000 square miles in Russia, so just keep your heads up, that's all I'm saying. Number 7, the first beast. Taking a break from locusts for a hot minute, let's get back to some biblical beasts. The first one, literally titled The First Beast, is referenced in Revelation 13:1-2. And I stood there upon the sands of the sea and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns. And upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his heads the name of blasphemy. And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, and his feet were as the feet of a bear, and his mouth as the mouth of a lion. And the dragon gave him his power, and his seat and great authority. Yeah, there's actually 2 of these monsters. This one's got 7 heads and 10 horns. This beast was once a great king, but before it could rule, it was cast into perdition. There's many who believe that the first beast is the literal Antichrist. If you think that's crazy, just wait, there's more. Because, number 6, the second beast. Just when you thought it was safe, boom, another beast. A second beast, actually. I've lost count at this point. There's so many beasts, so little time. This list, I'm really punching it in. The first beast came out of the sea, which as far as the apocalypse goes, I think that would be a good sign. Getting your tan lines and all of a sudden that thing marches out towards you, game over. But the second beast, ooh, that one comes from the earth, all around us. No sea, no problem. No, it's once he'll find you. Revelation 13:11. Then I saw another beast rising out of the earth. It had 2 horns like a lamb, and it spoke like a dragon. Sounds like you're talking about a specific somebody. I don't know, I'm just saying. It came from the earth, the 2 horns, lamb appearance, spoke like a dragon. It's the devil. Kind of sounds like the devil. Okay, the second beast is not described as well, but it did cause fire to fall from the sky, so it's pretty bad. And it also like to mark people with the mark of the beast, which in turn allows for humanity to follow the first beast. They're a unit, these 2, they work together. They flank you from the sea and from the earth, so you're screwed. Number 5, Nephilim. The Nephilim are demigods. They're described, of course, as being gigantic in size, and in Genesis 6:1-4, they're mentioned as such. When people began to multiply on the face of the ground, and daughters were born to them, the sons of the gods saw that they were fair, and took wives for themselves of all that they have chose. Then the Lord said, My spirit shall not abide in immortals forever, for they are flesh. Their days shall be 120 years. Also, side note, not a bad time to live. 120 years, it's pretty good. The Nephilim were on the earth in those days and also afterwards when the sons of God went into the daughters of humans who bore children to them. These were the heroes that were of old, warriors of renown. So the sons of God, these fallen ones, many believe are not the greatest. They're fallen sons, almost like Lucifer, in that kind of manner, like fallen. Number 1333, there's a passage that says, "And there we saw the Nephilim, and we seemed to ourselves like grasshoppers, and so we seemed to them." Giants, grasshoppers, Lucifer, oh my. I'm out. Number 4, the Leviathan. I don't have to explain why the Leviathan makes this list. It's called the Leviathan. So, yep, here it is. Isaiah 27:1. "In that day the Lord will punish Leviathan the fleeing serpent with his fierce and great and mighty sword, even Leviathan the twisted serpent, and he will kill the dragon who lives in the sea." Yeah, we're talking about sea monsters now. This is crazy. This one has more than one head, as do most on this list, so that's how you know it's a good one. The Leviathan is a beast of chaos. It was defeated at the hands of God, and once upon a time, Sir Humphrey Gilbert saw a beast in the sea that had a lion's head. So, could it be? Possibly. Many biblical verses mention the Leviathan. "May those who curse days curse that day, those who are ready to rouse Leviathan." That's Job 3:8. Can you pull a Leviathan with a fishhook or tie down its tongue with a rope? That question is in Jacob 4:1-1. Or how about this one? "I will not fail to speak of Leviathan's limbs, its strength and its graceful form. Who can strip off its outer coat? Who can penetrate its double coat of armor? Who dares open the doors of its mouth, ringed about with fearsome teeth? Its back has rows of shields tightly sealed together." Job 41:12-15. Teeth referred to as shields. Mine are chiclets. I broke these ones twice in my life, just from falling. That's intimidating. I don't know. Teeth referred to as shields. I don't want to bite at any of that. I'm good, thanks. Number 3, the Behemoth. Again, great name, pretty obvious. The Behemoth was one of the first creations of God. Again, this massive creature, described literally as a primeval monster of chaos, was thankfully defeated by Yahweh at the beginning of creation. So we don't have to worry about this one for now. Coming from Job 40:15-24, "Behold, Behemoth, which I made as I made you. He eats grass like an ox. Behold his strength in his loins and his power in his muscles of his belly. He makes his tail stiff like a cedar. The sinews of his thighs are knit together. His bones are tubes of bronze, his limbs like bars of iron." That's pretty intimidating. That's a great description also. My bones are not made of iron. They need calcium. My bones are made of putty. I need more zinc, if anything. That's it. They would describe me and be like, Taylor, his bones, he hasn't broken anything, but any day now, they're pretty weak. Number 2, giants. All these beasts are massive, sure, but are they giants per se? Like legally on paper, are they giants? Are they giants like our champion Gath, mentioned in Samuel 17:158? No. "And there came out from the camp of the Philistines a champion named Goliath of Gath, whose height was 6 cubits in a span." I'm 6'2" in a span. He's 6 cubits in a span. The guy's huge. "He had a helmet of bronze on his head, and he was armed with a coat of mail, and the weight of the coat was 5,000 shekels of bronze." Spoiler alert, Goliath fell to David, but there's a race of giants called the Amorites. They're mentioned more than 80 times. One description mentioned in Amos 2:9-10 paints quite the picture. "Yet it was I who destroyed the Amorite before them, whose height was like the height of the cedars, and he was as strong as the oaks. Yet I destroyed his fruit above his roots beneath. Also it was I who brought you up from the land of Egypt and led you 40 years through the wilderness to possess the land of Amorite." That's, again, another amazing description. If somebody were to describe me, they'd be like, yes, Taylor, the height of that bush, and also the strength of that bush. And finally, number 1, vampires. Remember when Edward says to Bella in the woods in Twilight, he says, "Say it out loud," and she's like, "Vampires." I get chills. Every time I get chills. Great book, great series, great film series too. Well, it turns out they're real. Who would have thought? Vampires are mentioned in around 50 verses from the Bible. Of course, this is an ongoing argument because the verse, "These are those whose teeth are swords, whose fangs are knives, to devour the poor from the earth, the needy from among mankind." Now, many believe it's not actually vampires being referenced here, and rather just the wealth of the people that's being devoured. No actual blood sucking going on. But I don't know, sea monsters, locusts, multiple horned heads. Sounds like vampires would be the least of our concerns at this point. Just get everything done during the day. At least we have a solution for this one. Is he coming out of the sea? Is he giant? Does he have 11 heads? We could probably take him. Drinking blood of any creature is a sin, so Team Jacob all the way, for sure.
Starting us off at number 10 is Zadkiel, a real archangel of freedom and mercy, but the one we're talking about today is part of the Marvel universe. Back in the earlier comics, Zadkiel used to be God's personal warrior that was extremely good at killing anything and everything. In terms of power, he possesses superhuman strength, speed, durability, he can heal quickly, he's immortal, he can fly, he can capture astral bodies, and he can manipulate you with magic. He could not give less of a shit about humanity, and during Lucifer's rebellion in heaven, he and his black host sided with the dark side. Zadkiel then snaked Lucifer, so this guy's evil truly runs deep. Like, how does man's snake Lucifer? I don't get it. As punishment for betraying God, Zadkiel was put in command of Heaven's Black Ops team, and after doing a bunch of work, he was done with it and launched his own attack against Heaven. He started recruiting humans, so after they died, their souls would automatically join his army. Zadkiel thought he could do a better job at ruling than God, and he actually won Heaven and ruled for a while. So this dude is not to be messed with under any circumstances. Coming in at number 9 is Gabriel. In the 2010 action horror Legion, the Archangel Michael goes to Earth and ends up being the angel trying to save the human race. A waitress called Charlie is pregnant with a baby who's going to save humanity, except God doesn't want humanity to be saved. So he sends an army of angels to Earth to end the human race, and the angel in charge of the army is Gabriel. He goes on a killing spree and kills Michael, who later comes back to Earth and says that Gabriel did what God wanted, but that he himself did what God needed, and therefore Gabriel failed. I mean, God did send him down there to kill an unborn baby, surely he should have known something was wrong there. Either way, the TV show Dominion is set 25 years after the events of the movie, and in it Gabriel is still hell-bent on killing mankind. He even managed to convince all the lower angels to fight with him. So an immensely powerful archangel hell-bent on killing us all sounds a lot worse than Succubus, for example. You know? At number 8 we have Samyaza. In the Book of Enoch, this fallen angel is known as the leader of a band of other fallen angels called the Watchers. This group became possessed with their lust for human women and continued to consummate despite it being a sin. Samyaza created 2 half-human, half-giant sons and continued to corrupt his fellow angels into seducing women. His encouragement led to the offspring of these women being giants, and together with the angels they murdered, dominated, and exploited inferior races of men. And I mean, when you have angels and giants in one army, you know you're gonna lose. You may as well just give up. Surrender, it's over for you. Filling our number 7 slot are the Angels of the 10th Realm. Part of the Thor Marvel universe, these angels live in a place called Heaven, not actually spelled heaven, previously known as the unknown 10th Realm. This realm was locked away by Odin because these angels were a right menace. They're vindictive and they're pro-killing babies. Loki actually helps Thor open up a portal to heaven so they can meet the angels. However, a battle ensues where Thor loses and Loki sides with the angels. In all the 10 realms, angels are their greatest warriors to the point no army is a match for them. They're extremely selfish and materialistic and think a concept like honor is just plain useless. Now at number 6 is Gabriel. What a surprise! Gabriel, why'd you have such a bad rep? Jeez, come on now. Anyway, in the 2005 occult detective film Constantine, half-breed angel Gabriel is a bit of a problem. Gabriel absolutely hates humanity with every fiber of its being and hatches a plan to unleash Satan's offspring, Mammon, onto Earth so humans can die so they can go to heaven. So I mean, it sounds like a good deed, but it most certainly is not. To claim the Earth for himself, Mammon needs help from God and a powerful psychic on his side, both of which he has, and he has the help of Gabriel, the selfish hoe. Gabriel literally tries to stab a possessed woman's belly to get Mammon out of there, and Satan eventually incinerates her wings off. You know it's bad when Satan is involved in doing the punishing. You know it's bad. Coming in at number 5 is Amenadiel. I like him personally just because he's from the DC universe and I prefer DC over Marvel. And I know everyone's just gonna be bashing their keyboards right now trying to tell me how Marvel is so much better and intricate. Believe me, I work with Chain Amanda, they're both Marvel over DC diehards. Either way, Amenadiel is a vengeful angel that spends his life getting back at Lucifer, who is now on Earth. After leaving his post as King of Hell, Lucifer went to Earth and started running a piano lounge, which did not set well with Amenadiel, who never forgave him for betraying him and God. However, Lucifer's a genius and Amenadiel is definitely, you know, more brawn than he has brains. Any move against Lucifer is thwarted quite easily, which makes Amenadiel angrier and stupider. He literally invades LA with the Throne Army and kills a bunch of people all for his ego. Come on man, do better. At number 4 are the angels from Supernatural. I honestly did not think that show could last as long as it did, but I mean kudos to them. 15 seasons, Azam Zaddy. Now the series follows two brothers who essentially hunt ghosts, demons, monsters, you name it, they hunt it. Supernatural also has a lot of angels in it, the good of which being few and far between. There's probably only like 2 angels that are relatively good on the show, Castiel and Gabriel, and even they are not saints. Gabriel literally forced Sam to watch Dean die 100 times in a pocket universe, and he's in the top tier of nice in the show. That's not nice. Most of the angels on the show have no issue killing humans. The first half of the show actually features most of the angels wanting Satan to escape from hell just so the apocalypse can happen, and that's not even because they want it, it's literally because they're bored. Other antics include Angel Zachariah removing Sam's lungs for a few minutes just to prove a point, Metatron killing a bunch of humans, and also turning angels into suicide bombers. Like, hello, calm down. Filling at number 3 slot is Gabriel. There are so many asshole versions of Gabriel, I feel bad for it. Either way, this terrible Gabriel hails from the 1995 American fantasy movie titled The Prophecy. Now to summarize, there's this sort of angel civil war going on, and Gabriel wants to overthrow the regime and be in charge. As angels, you'd think they'd all be able to sort out their differences around some heavenly circular table, I don't know. In order to win the battle, Gabriel is looking for the dark soul of Colonel Hawthorne, a Korean war veteran that committed horrible war crimes that don't even seem to affect his morality at all. Hawthorne's soul will help him overthrow the obedient angels. To put it into perspective of how bad this is, even Lucifer doesn't want Gabriel to win because he knows he'll turn heaven into a second hell. You know shit is bad when Lucifer seems like the good guy. The reason Gabriel is even doing all this is because he feels bad and guilty for betraying God. His soul is being tortured, and this is the only way he can see out of it. I mean, has he tried therapy? Are some problems beyond therapy? I don't know. Now at number 2 is Zara. Now Zara is an angel in the Spawn comic book universe that is so powerful and feared that angels and demons alike don't want to get in her way. Zara is a creation that God abandoned and now keeps imprisoned due to her immense unpredictable power. She's one of the most powerful beings in the universe, but she's utterly insane. How can that much power not go to anybody's head? Come on, you're setting her up for failure. Zara's unending bloodlust is what makes her simultaneously a homicidal maniac and God's most lethal weapon. He lets her out when he needs someone killed or someone to do his dirty work, and since she's immortal, nothing's that deep for her. The bloodlust within her is actually so strong it manifests in this large white bestial humanoid that can breathe white celestial fire and follow Zara's every command. So not only is she dangerous herself, she also has this ethereal beast that kills people for her. And finally, at number 1 is the unnamed angel. In the 2001 psychological horror film Frailty, Dad Meeks, the father of Fenton and Adam, gets visited by an angel who tells him that God wants him to kill demons that are disguising themselves as humans. Meeks is already a religious fanatic, and this angelic visit throws him into overdrive as he waits for the angel to give him the name so he can start killing the people one by one. He takes his 2 kids with him on these murder missions and touches the victim right before killing them because it shows him the visions of what crimes that demon has committed. Now Adam believes his dad, but Fenton doesn't, so he tries stopping him, which fails. This angel tells the dad some horrible things about Fenton that leads him to locking him up in the cellar, hoping that will make him see God. After days of being starved, he lies and says he's ready to be part of the murders, and so upon securing the next victim, the dad gives him the axe, but Fenton kills his dad instead. Then, on instruction from the angel, Adam kills the victim and then buries them both. The movie gets darker after that with a lot of twists, but this one angel literally caused a serial killer to be born.
Coming in at number 10, we have Truck On. In May 2018, a fire chief in East Jordan claimed that a security camera took this image of an angel flying over his truck. Glenn Thorman said that CCTV caught an angel flying over his vehicle and then disappeared out of frame. He said, "That's an angel," and I was just blown away. The Jordan River's Facebook page shared the image and said, "These photos have not been altered in any way." The second photo, the security camera also shot because the angel was moving away. The camera is designed to photograph anything in motion or unusual. Lots of tears today when they opened the security on their camera. Wow. Some skeptics are saying it's a moth nearer to the camera and that the picture lacks depth perception, but others are straight up convinced it's an angel. Coming into number 9, we have the Texan experience. experience. Danny Ferrero was driving in Texas in July 2018 when he saw something beautiful in the sky. He stopped to take a picture of his view down Highway 105 and then shared the image of the sun setting in the clouds on Facebook. The beams of light through the clouds very much looked like an angel spreading their wings, and the good people of Facebook thought so too. The image was shared on the social media platform 12,000 times. Ferrero said that the sighting came at the right time. He'd been having some family issues. He said, "God can speak to us in many different ways, and for that I'm thankful." Coming into number 8, we have angels in Mecca. A YouTube video was uploaded to the video sharing site in August 2010. Now, it was said to have been shot in Mecca in 2008. Mecca, of course, is a holy desert valley in Saudi Arabia, sacred to those of the Islamic faith. So this video is pretty blurry, but such was life in 2008. I have to admit, something strange is happening here. Perhaps it's an angel visiting one of the holiest spots on earth, or maybe it's a lens flare. You decide. Coming into number 7, we have Dark Angel or Dementor. Some people in Kitwe in Zambia were convinced that they had seen a dark angel, or an angel of death perhaps, looking over the Mkuba Mall. The dark humanoid figure appeared in the clouds with seemingly no explanation. The apparition was 100 meters long and very much looked like a Harry Potter Dementor. Dementors, of course, administer kisses of death and suck out souls, so not great. People had mixed reactions to the figure in the clouds. Some people thought it was an angel of some kind or some kind of embodiment of God, so they started worshipping it. Others were terrified and they ran away in fear. Apparently the mystery cloud hung around for around half an hour and then it disappeared. How strange. Coming into number 6, we have a guardian angel. A lot of people talk about guardian angels, benevolent forces that watch over them and protect them from harm. This is a lovely idea, but is there any proof that such a thing exists? Well, this CCTV footage from a road in China seems to offer a shred of proof. A guy on a motorbike is about to be obliterated by an oncoming truck when his guardian angel flies in at super speed and rescues him right in the nick of time. Now this does leave him very confused. He's baffled, but he's alive. So have a look at this footage and let me know what you think for yourself. The video was uploaded in September 2012 and has been watched over 11 million times. Is this proof of a higher force? Well, it turns out that actually this is a hoax. It's a viral marketing campaign for a Chinese game called Dragon Totem Girl. Makes me kinda sad. Speaking of guardian angels, it seems one showed up at a hospital at number 5. I found this image alongside the story of Chelsea Banton. Chelsea was 14 when she nearly died of pneumonia. Now her illness had reached the point where doctors recommended switching off her life support. Her mother made the unthinkable decision to follow the doctor's advice. Now it was thought that Chelsea would quickly die, but she survived the night and then began to make a miraculous recovery. One of the nurses had reported a man standing by Chelsea's door, and when her mother seemed totally baffled by it, they watched over the CCTV footage. This is what they saw. Whether or not it's just a patch of light from a particularly sunny window, or whether what you're seeing is actually the figure of an angel, one thing's for sure, what happened to Chelsea was an absolute miracle. Coming into number 4, we have the Stairway to Heaven. In July 2018, footage from Tuscaloosa, Alabama was uploaded to the internet. The video was shot on a stormy day and the camera captures the dark clouds, only there's something going on in those clouds. If you look closely, you can see what looks like 2 people walking through them. Now they don't appear to have wings, but could these be angels anyway? It seems that the footage was shot as part of a live stream and only later were the figures spotted. On YouTube, the miraculous video has been viewed 2.2 million times. Now Alabama is a pretty religious place and it seemed to have many people locally as well as further spread across the world totally convinced of heavenly activity. There's something similar happening in Ghana at number 3. A Ghanaian news channel reported on a strange sighting in Danzaman, Ghana. The news presenter shares the video in a segment called An Encounter with the Dead. Whatever is in the clouds looks a lot more like it has wings than the figures in the Alabama clouds, so maybe it is an angel. But also, maybe angels can choose to have wings when they want, and maybe sometimes vampires can't go into the sun, but then maybe sometimes they glitter like Edward Cullen. See what I'm saying? Coming in at number 2, we have fairies or tiny angels. Anyone watching who's roughly my age or a few years older from the UK, do you remember Goldie looking chain, because I certainly do. I really enjoyed them as a teen, and you know what, who doesn't love a bit of Welsh rap at the best of times? You might be wondering what they're up to now. Well, let me tell you, spotting fairies in the garden, that's what. So John Rutledge, a member of Goldie Looking Chain, was out having a lovely walk with his dog in Newbridge, Wales, when he decided to take some snaps of the beautiful sunny summer's day. Now, if the sun is shining in the UK, especially Wales, you are going to want to capture that on camera. It turns out that John got more than he bargained for when he looked at his film. While he surveyed his pictures after his walk, he realised that he had actually captured what looked like 7 tiny winged humanoids. Now, are these little angels, or are they fairies? Or are fairies just tiny angels anyway? The pop star said that ever since childhood he wanted to witness a paranormal event. He said, "The last thing I expected was a winged entity in a wood in South Wales, but there it is, smack bang in your face. It's solid evidence." Imagine him saying that in his Welsh accent. Solid. On closer inspection, the picture is seemingly legit. It does look like tiny winged people. Finally, coming into number 1, this honestly did have me convinced. We have the Russian landing. In 2016, on a live news broadcast in Russia, a bright light interrupted the host. Now, I don't know what she's saying, but maybe our Russian audience will know. The presenter seems totally shocked. Her reaction seems pretty genuine. What else could this be? We don't see wings or anything, it's just a ball of light, but it's really strange, and again, her reaction speaks volumes. Was this an actual angel caught on camera? So